Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Michaela and I make adult coloring videos here on this channel. First of all, I just want to apologize for not having a video up for you guys on Thursday. When I say it was a crazy week last week, I am not joking. I'm gonna give you guys a little story time at the end of this video of what happened last week, because just a crazy story, and also just wanted to tell you guys what happened. But the whole point of this video is I am actually going to be doing a little color and chat and talking about the coloring books I won't be buying. I got this video idea from Sassy Colors here on YouTube. She uploaded this video a couple weeks ago and I was like, I want to do this. So thank you so much for the inspiration to film this. But I'm going to be coloring out of 50 Vacation Miniatures by Camila Angelkova and talking about these books. I'm going to be working on the nameplate page because I have not done it yet, and that is just a crime because it is always like one of the first pages I do out of these books. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get right on into it. Okay, I think I want to start out by coloring in the Flamingo because I know it's going to be pink, but the question is like how hot of pink do I want to do this? Maybe like an R15. I think for the most part I'm just going to be using my Ohuhu brush markers just because they're the easiest and the most accessible for me to reach right now. But I do want to start out by saying that if any of the books or types of books I mention are your favorite, I definitely mean no disrespect. This is just my opinions. These are just my opinions, and you know, everybody has their own taste in coloring books, which is why, you know, I think ColorTube is so successful, because you can really like find people that you really enjoy and very similar book taste. I don't know. So I don't mean any disrespect if this is your favorite book or your favorite like type of books. I have here, I don't actually have anything like specific. They're all more of like types of books or artists. So yeah, that being said, I guess let's just get into the first set of books, I guess, and that is the Mythographic series. I want to say this was mentioned in Lydia's video. You guys, you know, those books are insanely detailed, and like I like detail. For some reason I just don't vibe with the Mythographic series. I find that they're a little like too much for me, and I am so weird. I don't know if this is like even a legit reason to like not like a book, but like if a book is gonna look like the Mythographic series, I almost want it to be a double-sided book, because I almost feel like the amount of detail in that book, like I literally wouldn't even be able to use my alcohol markers just because of how much detail there is, and it gives me too many vibes to a double-sided book. I don't know, I'm absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of how I feel. It's not my thing. And I think Lydia also said this, but like all of the hidden objects, like it's too much. And then they're also just so random. Like none of the hidden objects actually really make much sense with the actual picture. They're just kind of there, and I get it, that's the point, but they're just not for me. They're not for me, they're a little too detailed, and yeah. I'm also trying to figure out, is this like part of the monkey? I'm having a very hard time telling. I also, are these supposed to be like what are those supposed to be on this rubber ducky? I am confused. We're just gonna put this down for now. So yeah, Mythographic for sure is one of them. Yeah, I don't know, and I feel like for all of these, like I don't really have good reason as to why they're not like, why I would never buy them. And also another disclaimer is that just because like now I'm saying I wouldn't buy them, like doesn't necessarily mean that I never will buy them. It just kind of means that in the very near future I have no plans to, just because they're not my thing. So anyways, okay, continuing on, I'm gonna use B030. Here we go. B030, color in this water. Okay, so the next book, well, actually, the next artist I have is Coco Wyo, a lot of Coco Wyo. I don't know. I just like, it's another thing where like I feel like Coco Wyo releases so many books that like I just don't have the energy to keep up with it. And I just don't foresee myself really buying any Coco Wyo. The only one, and I believe it's Coco Wyo. Oh my god, I'm gonna check my phone real quick just to make sure it is Coco Wyo. I'm pretty sure it is. I have this one book on my list, on my wish list. That is like the only one I have really that I want to buy from them. Yeah, it's Spooky Girl by Coco Wyo. That is like the only one I have on my wish list. The only one that really like spoke to me. I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna do G6. That's like the only book on, I don't know, that spoke to me and that I really want eventually, and I probably will pick up in time for Halloween. I'll probably end up getting it this month or next. So yeah, that's like the only book by Coco Wyo that is of interest to me. I don't know. Again, that could change, but I think Coco Wyo just comes out with books so fast that like, it just like kind of overwhelms me, and I don't know. That's kind of my take on that. I feel like this video is just a bunch of, I don't know, I just don't really want it. So there's that. The next is more of like a style, and that is really anything Zen Doodle. I get so overwhelmed with Zen Doodle images because I don't know how to color it properly. I think I have a couple books in my collection that are kind of Zen Doodle-y. I know my my Fabiana Attanasio book, I can't even remember which one it is now. That book has a lot of Zen Doodle in it, and it definitely is more on the bottom of my list of books that I have. And I used to own a couple of them that had more Zen Doodle stuff in it. It's just not my thing. I much prefer things to be a little bit more straightforward, less patterny. So Zen Doodle is definitely on that list. It's okay every once in a while, maybe, but like, usually I don't gravitate towards it. You guys know. You guys know. So definitely Zen Doodle. Let's see. Okay, these next two, you guys, I think this might confuse you guys a little bit, because I used to own books by both of these artists, and I have since decluttered, and I plan on giving them to one of my friends. And that is, one of them is Theresa Goodridge. You guys, I do feel bad about saying that, but I have just learned that Theresa Goodridge and I don't really mix, and that's okay. You know, things happen, and you don't always love the same artist that you did a few years ago. And I feel like when I first started growing my collection, I was just kind of buying everything just because I was, you know, I wanted to try out different, just different artists and things like that. And Theresa Goodridge, I have a few of her books, and I was even gifted one. And you guys, unfortunately, like, she just isn't for me. It's a little too detailed for me. And I don't know, at the beginning of my coloring journey, I did enjoy coloring her work, but anytime I think about coloring it now, it kind of feels like a chore. So I just decided to declutter her books, and I no longer own them. So I'm going to give them to a friend. I have not seen that friend yet, so I've not given it to her yet, but yeah. Theresa Goodridge, unfortunately, I don't plan on purchasing any more of her books in the near future, just because, yeah, I don't really think they're my cup of tea anymore. And then, kind of to go along with that, is George Tufaxis. I did own a few of his books as well. He does color by number books, but they are insanely detailed. I have found that I'm not the biggest fan of his color by numbers. Again, number one, they're super detailed, and then also, they're books, again, that are single-sided, but it's really hard to use alcohol markers in them because the lines are so thin, the spaces are so small. And then he also, in the books at least I had, he would have like a number 0 that you're supposed to like mix like the two colors surrounding it or something like that, and that always wildly confused me. So I just decided to declutter them and give those to a friend who would love them more, because I know this friend loves George Tufaxis. She sent me a Snapchat of her pages, and she was like, look what I colored. I said, oh my god, this George Tufaxis. And she's like, how did you know that? I'm like, how didn't I know that? Like, I know everything. No, just kidding. But yeah, George Tufaxis is on that list as well. I need to find a color for the pineapple. I feel like I'm coloring the easy stuff on camera, and then by the time I'm done filming, I will figure out the harder stuff. But let's figure out the pineapple color. Let's go with, maybe like, is Y2 a good color? This one for pineapple? I'm gonna go for it. I don't know if it's great, but we're gonna go for it. Okay, the last thing on this list, and like I said, this was gonna be a shorter video, but I'm gonna mix it with my little chat about what happened this week. I am just saying Creative Haven in general. So that does include, obviously, Theresa Goodridge and George Tufaxis as they publish under Creative Haven. I have noticed, just by watching YouTube videos, that Creative Haven books just, like, aren't my thing. I don't love the fact that they're perforated pages. They just fall out of the book way too easily. And I've just noticed that the art style in a lot of them just are not my thing. And I know that's a very, like, generalized, like, answer, I feel like, because there are so many artists that publish under Creative Haven. But just, like, from my experience, I've never been a big fan of Creative Haven. I don't know. I just haven't. So I don't really plan on buying any of those. They're just not my thing. But yeah, that is basically it for all of the coloring books. I didn't even name one specific book. I literally just named a bunch of, like, themes or, like, artists. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want a second part to this that's kind of like coloring books that are auto buys, or like things like that, that could be really fun to film. Let me know in the comments. I kind of just thought of that on the spot, but that would be really fun. Like Camelia Angelkova is an auto buy, you know, for her miniatures. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, let me know. But if you're only here for this part of the video, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. But if you are interested in hearing about my life this week and how much of a shit show it was, keep on watching because it's pretty fun. Okay, so this week, you guys, this week started out totally fine. I was like doing so great. And then I was like thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna film Thursday's video probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I do that every week. I always think I'm gonna do it earlier in the week, and then it never happens, so then I end up just filming it like Wednesday. And you guys, it did not happen Wednesday because let's go to Tuesday night. I went to bed early. I was on my phone before bed, like I always am, watching TikToks, double check my alarm is set for 6:30. Perfect. It's like 9:40, I'm exhausted, I go to sleep. Okay, sometimes in the middle of the night, I will wake up and check my phone. It is not a good habit at all in the slightest, but I do it. So I went to check my phone. It wasn't working. I could not get the display to work. Like, I was pressing like the power button. I was just pressing buttons at this point, but like I'm trying to get the display to show and it wouldn't. I thought that was really strange. So I'm sitting here Googling on my iPad how to, like, I can't even remember how I worded it, but like basically how to get your display to show, because right now I'm getting the black screen of death. Nothing is working. I thought maybe it was dead. I thought maybe my phone was off, but I tried unplugging my phone from the charger and replugging it back in, and it would give me like the buzz, like the vibrate noise. So I knew the phone itself was working still. So I'm Googling, it says try force resetting it by, you know, pressing the home button and the power button at the same time. Perfect, that's how you reset it, I knew that. So I'm sitting here trying that, and I'm holding it down, and I hear this really loud beep, and it scared the living daylights out of me. And then I'm like, ooh, okay, that's odd. And you know, it's like 12:30 in the morning, mind you, so like, I'm out of it. I had just been sleeping for 3 hours, and it makes this really loud beeping noise. But for some reason, it didn't faze me enough to not do it again. So, of course, I kept holding it down, and it beeped like 5 more times, okay? I need to pick out a new color. I don't know what to do now. Ooh, should I make these like a really bright purple? That's what I want to do. Like an R16. That'd be pretty. This might be a mistake. But anyways, it beeps like 5 times, and then all I hear on the other end of my phone is, hello? Hello, are you okay? And then I pick it up and I go, oh my God, I am so sorry. I did not mean to call. My phone is broke and I'm trying to get it restarted. I accidentally called 911. My dumbass self called 911. Nice. That was what that beeping noise was. And the lady's like, no, you're fine. I just need to get your name and your address and things like that. So I gave it to her. I gave her my phone number. And then I am freaking out. So I FaceTime audio call my parents on my iPad. Luckily, they have iPhones. And luckily, they keep their phone on loud at night for me and like my siblings and things like that, for emergencies. And like, granted, this really wasn't an emergency, but I was freaking out. So I call them and I'm explaining what happened. And then a few minutes into the call, I get a call from an unknown number on my iPad. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call you guys back. I don't know who this is. So I answer and it was the police. He's like, hey, I'm outside your apartment. Like, can you like let me in, or can you come down? I have to ask you a few questions. And I'm like, oh my God, I made the police come to my house at 1 in the morning because I accidentally called the cops. Okay, perfect. So I go down there and I answer his questions and he's really, really nice. I am just freaking out because I am still, number one, exhausted. And I don't know what to do because my phone isn't working and I'm afraid my alarm isn't working now for the morning, so I'm gonna be late for work. And yeah, and then I decided, well, I can't just keep pressing buttons anymore. Like, I think like I need to figure out what's wrong with my phone, like bring it in somewhere, because I can't just keep like pressing buttons and call the police again. So I go back upstairs after I'm done talking with the police and I call my mom back, my dad, and I'm like, okay, that was the police, shout out to me, like made them come to my apartment. And then we just decide that in the morning we would bring the phone somewhere. We don't know where quite yet. So the next day comes and I actually set my alarm on my iPad, which, by the way, you guys, I did not need to do. My alarm still did go off on my phone, and in fact, I couldn't shut it off. So I could only keep snoozing it. So that was really, really annoying. Trying to pick out, maybe go with P4. So literally all I could do was snooze my alarm, which was equally as annoying as if it were just gonna go off, because it just kept going off. Oh my God. So I dropped my phone off at my parents' house that morning because I am not dealing with it going off every 5 minutes because I keep snoozing it. And I was gonna go to the T-Mobile store with my parents after work, and my mom was an absolute gem in this whole situation, and she actually decided just to bring my phone to the Apple store during the day, since she doesn't work. So she just decided to bring it into the Apple store, and luckily they were able to fix it. The funny part to me was that my mom texted me on my iPad, so I connected to the Wi-Fi at my work on my iPad so I could keep in contact in case like I needed her for any, or she needed me for any reason, more or less. And she was like, the people at Apple think your display is broken. And I'm like, no shit. I know exactly that's what's broken. I need to know what to do to fix it. So yeah, I thought that was funny. But she was there for about an hour and they force restarted it, and I have a phone. I have a working phone. Unfortunately, I have lost all of my pictures from May 25th on, which means everything from California with Cassie is gone. And everything from Cincinnati when I went with my dad and my brother are gone. Which, I mean, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, like, I guess at least I have a phone, and I have learned I need to back up my phone. And it's really funny, but not in the funny way, but in the funny, like, you fucked up kind of way, is that the night before this all happened, my mom asked me, do you back up your phone? I said, no, not really. I never have needed to. Joke's on me, honestly. Joke's really on me. So, yeah. That is my story. I have a phone and I had to restart from scratch practically. But you know what, guys? One bright side, my contacts carried over. If anything were to carry over, right? Glad it was my contacts. So yeah, that is why I did not have a video up Thursday, because by the time Wednesday came along, I was at my parents', I grabbed my phone, and honestly, I was in a crap mood because of my phone being a goner. So, not a goner, because it really wasn't a goner, but it may as well have been. So yeah, that is my fun little story on what happened Wednesday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, and why I did not have a video up for you guys on Thursday, which took up about half this video. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do on camera for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you're not already, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys!